Phew. Decisions.
Right.
Decisions. Anyone else feel like they're constantly wrestling with one choice or another?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's like a never-ending stream, isn't it?
It really is. I was actually I was grappling with something the other day, and just feeling that familiar knot of fear. You know the one.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling all too well. What kind of decision were you trying to make?
Well, nothing earth-shattering, really. Just one of those everyday things. But you know how those can sometimes feel just as overwhelming.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then I came across this blog post by Shaman Jon Rasmussen, and it was like a breath of fresh air. I don't know if you've ever read anything by him.
I haven't, no. What's the gist of it?
Well, it's about this idea that even in those seemingly small choices, the everyday ones, we're actually always choosing between fear and love.
That's interesting. And how does that relate to your decision?
Well, he was talking about how fear can really cloud our judgment. We can make us focus on all the what ifs and the potential downsides, and then we end up making decisions that aren't really aligned with what we truly want.
Right, right. I mean, especially these days, it feels like there's so much to be afraid of, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And Rasmussen, being a shaman, he approaches this whole thing from a really unique perspective. He talks about fear not just as an emotion, but as this force that can really truly impact our lives, on multiple levels.
Right, right. Like it's this energy that's out there that we can tap into or be influenced by.
Exactly. And the thing is, he really believes we have the power to choose a different path. A path that's guided by courage and love instead.
Okay, that sounds good in theory, but how do we actually, put that into practice?
Well, he offers this really simple exercise called the fear versus love columns. You ever heard it?
No, I haven't. What's that?
It's so simple. You just take a piece of paper, divide it into two columns, fear and love. And then, for any decision you're facing, you just write down all those thoughts that are swirling around in your head, all the what ifs, the worries, the hopes, the dreams, and you put them under the appropriate column.
So, like, if I'm thinking about starting my own business, a fear-based thought would be something like, what if I fail and lose all my savings? And that would go under fear.
Exactly. And then a love-based thought might be something like, I'm so passionate about this idea, and I know I can make a positive impact. And that would go under love.
Okay, yeah, I see. It's like you're separating the voices in your head,
Mm-hmm.
The voice of fear versus the voice of love.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Rasmussen uses this really great example in his post about deciding whether to change jobs.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. And he talks about how fear might whisper, what if I can't find another job this good? What if I regret this decision? All those worries.
Mm-hmm. And what does love say?
Well, love might say something like, this is my chance to follow my true calling, to find work that truly lights me up.
Oh, I love that. That's so powerful.
Isn't it? And then here's the real kicker. Rasmussen encourages you to actually choose the decisions in the love column.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And not just for your own benefit, but get this, for the benefit of all humanity.
Wow, the benefit of all humanity. That's a pretty big concept to wrap your head around.
It is, and that's what really hit me. It's not just about me and what's best for me in this moment. It's about how my choices, even the small ones, can ripple outward and impact the world around me.
It's that whole interconnectedness thing, right? Like we're all connected and our actions affect each other.
Exactly. And Rasmussen talks about having faith that nature supports us in making those love-based choices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
He even includes this quote from Abraham Hicks. I think I wrote it down. Here it is. You have a lot more ahead of you than behind you. You can't get it wrong.
I love that. It's so reassuring, isn't it? Like no matter what choices we make, we're always on the right path.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I read it. It's like this permission slip to just trust the journey.
Yeah.
To trust that we're always learning and growing, even when we make what we might perceive as mistakes.
Absolutely. And sometimes those so-called mistakes, they lead us to exactly where we need to be.
Right. They become our greatest teachers.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired to start using this fear versus love lens,
Yeah, me too. It's such a simple tool, but it has the potential to really shift our perspective on everything.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe if enough of us start making choices from a place of love, we can actually create a ripple effect that that transforms the world.
Yeah, imagine that, a world where love is the driving force behind our decisions.
What a beautiful thought. Well, I think we've given everyone a lot to chew on today.
Yeah, definitely. And for all our listeners out there, as you go about your day, ask yourself, is there a decision, big or small, where you could apply this fear versus love lens?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And what happens when you shift your perspective and let love be your guide? Give it a try and see what unfolds.
I think you might be surprised by what you discover.
I think so too.
Thanks for joining us today.
It was my pleasure.